Modern Day Football on EPSL. We are coming up on the close to the season, what feels like a journey that is coming to an end for many seniors, coming up on their last game. But today we've got Modern Day versus Centennial. Centennial obviously the home team, and Centennial coming off a year that wasn't exactly what they were hoping for compared to the success of last year, losing their quarterback to De La Salle, and a few other key pieces as well. They find themselves at 6-9 with the second seeded, currently at least projected, second seeded AFC playoff team in the house. So a chance to kind of play spoiler in a lot of ways. I think for these teams that don't have as good a record as they'd like, that is their primary goal. And Centennial, no doubt about it, has the talent to do it. We'll see if the talent shows up, because one thing they've had trouble doing is playing consistent and scoring points consistently. And that is going to be a tall task. Let's take a look at James Winters. Obviously, the touchdown numbers are there. Yards are up there in the upper half of the league as well. But, man, almost 40 touchdowns. I think he might be leading the league in passing touchdowns. I'd have to check, but I think the next closest is around 35. Couple quarterbacks in the 30s. So I'd have to take a look. Don't quote me on that directly. 5-yard run there on first down. Blitz comes out from Modern Day, and a miss on second down. Island in coverage. But you guys know me. If you're a viewer of Modern Day Football here on EPSL, sponsored by Capital One, what's in your basement, you know that I often talk about the Modern Day defense. Nice pickup for a first down there. Curl routes, I think, have been the number one way to beat this defense, but even there, Johnson was sticky in coverage. He was right along with the receiver. So that'll bring up a 1st and 10, just about to cross midfield. Centennial looking to put an opening drive together. Room through the middle. Tanking going to pick up about 15. Brought down by Curtis and others. So early on here, Centennial kind of moving the ball at will. Play action. Downfield shot. Batted in the air and intercepted. It looked like Johnson with the initial deflection. Craig Roberts, the backup strong safety, who comes in to play strong safety when the starter is at sub linebacker, ends up with the interception off a deflection there. Let's see who knocked that one up in the air. Oh, my apologies. It was Shutter Island with the initial deflection. Kind of volleyball set that into the air for Roberts, who was Johnny on the spot, kind of came down with that football, and an early turnover on a drive that looked really promising for Centennial. A couple first downs. They were moving the ball well. And now the Modern Day offense is going to take over. Sean Bowe just broke through the 4,000 passing yard barrier for his freshman season. But we have been talking at length about the Modern Day offense, some changes that might need to be made coming into the postseason here. Jacob Williams closing in on 1,000 yards rushing. I know he is close to 500 yards receiving as well. So closing in on an incredibly productive junior season, almost 1,500 all-purpose yards. Definitely more than 10 touchdowns. I would have to look at the numbers. Play action here for Sean Bowe. He's looking for Kisling, and a great play from the DB there. Just looked like he jumped in front. Not a bad read, but better play by the defender. 3rd and 6 for Modern Day on their opening drive in the pouring rain. And that one will be complete to Forwick. They'll pick up a first down. So the offensive struggles for Mater Dei have been pretty apparent, especially when playing teams like this, when playing teams with a sub 500 record. I think when in our conversations with the Mater Dei coaching staff, nice catch by Shockey, way to hold on there through the contact. In our conversations with the Mater Dei coaching staff, I think they would like to see games that you should win. They would like to see Mater Dei win by a little bit more, but also I think in big moments they would rather see their team be a little bit more consistent, specifically offensively and scoring points, not kicking field goals, finishing drives and touchdowns. Small things, but those small things in the playoffs are what win you playoff games. They're what get you deep into the postseason. Play action here. Bo over the middle, and he's picked off. That's underthrown for Kisling. Again, not a bad read, just bad location of that ball. Put it behind Kisling. Jacobs there with the interception. So early, oh, I apologize. That was a bad throw. Jacobs sitting back in zone coverage. Broke on that route nicely. Just a bad throw there from the quarterback. Taking a look at the league here. There we go. James Winters is up there second. I apologize. I was wrong about that. Second in the league in passing touchdowns. Both quarterbacks with early interceptions here. Something that, battle, uncontested up the middle. We saw that from a mile away in the booth. Marcus Battle with almost a 10-yard sack on first down. Nobody even touched him. But plenty of game left if you're the Mater Dei offense. Still, obviously every drive can't end in points. That's just not how football works. So it's really time will tell to see if they make these offensive changes, and if those offensive changes actually do pan out here. Winters on the run, under pressure from Zaza Dean, the defensive tackle, and Dean pressures him just enough to make him throw the ball away. That'll bring up fourth down, so the Mater Dei defense not giving an inch, in fact taking a few, on that drive from Centennial. Kisling to return the punt, and he'll take it past the 20-yard line. So, Sean Bowe, you got to have a short memory. As a freshman, you're going to make mistakes. One thing I would say about this offense is the promise of this young core of players, specific. And it looked like Sean Bowe threw that directly at Jacobs again. He might just be locked in on 56 in black instead of his receivers. I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like a good amount of running backwards, back and forth. But obviously that's not going to result in a very good play. Very strange thing to watch there on second down. So first down, you throw the ball directly at a linebacker. Second down, you essentially run backwards in a zigzag pattern so as to avoid detection. Now you're running around in your own end zone. Absolutely bizarre sequence from the Mater Dei offense. I have no idea what's going on with that. Just rough to look at. I don't know what that was. It looked like we're going to have a short memory up here in the booth today, because that was just atrocious. I don't know. Can't say much about that. So the Centennial offense back on the field. And they start the ball with pretty good field position here. And they're going to hand off to Tanking. He'll gain 7. Trips right for Centennial. Underneath complete. First down. And they are moving pretty well. So obviously the big story is the playoffs. But I think coming up here, there's been a lot of talk about the AFC maybe not being as strong as the NFC, which certainly appears to be true on the surface, but I think there are a lot of teams in the AFC that people might be sleeping on. Modern Day I consider to be one of them if their offense can figure things out. And they have been one of the better offenses statistically in the league. Another third down here for Centennial. Winters to throw, and he just airmails his receiver. Jameson in coverage. Jameson was not far away from making a play on that ball. Another fourth down brought up here for Centennial. And if Winters could just, both quarterbacks it looks like kind of struggling early here, trying to some accuracy issues, and great punt there. Modern Day going to start on their own 4-yard line. So we'll see if the Modern Day offense can put the early woes behind them. Sean Bowe complete over the middle to Forwick. And we aren't going to talk about the first 2 drives because there wasn't a lot to talk about there. Anyway, closing in on the end of the first quarter. Neither team has scored. Neither team. Sean Bowe taking a shot, loading up. He's got Forwick. He overthrows him. Oh, he overthrows him, and that's where you gotta just take a deep breath if you're fans of both teams, really. I mean, it's a touchdown you just miss on. Here's the handoff to Williams. He's got a huge hole on 3rd and 3. He picks up an easy first down. Great blocking up front. Oh, and you just missed Forwick by about an inch there. Credit to him, he laid out for the ball. Life goes on. A toss play to Williams here, and he gets caught on his own lineman. He had plenty of room, and for some reason decided to run into his own blocker, and he'll lose a yard because of it. 2nd and 11, and that'll bring up the end of the first quarter. Not a first quarter to write home about, folks, especially offensively for either team. Interceptions for both defenses early. And just, I got to say, I do think the rain is a factor here. Ball coming out maybe not as crisp as you'd like it to. But regardless, we got a 0-0 ball game after 1. 2nd and 11 for the Monarch offense. Freshman quarterback drops to throw. He'll find Cooper for a gain of 8. And that looked a little more in rhythm. 3-step, 4-step drop, ball's out. It wasn't a whole lot of running backwards, which, does give you a little bit of, as I was speaking, I saw the pressure coming there from Centennial. He is hit as he's thrown, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 3, so another empty possession for Modern Day. But, the passing game did look a little bit more comfortable than the first quarter, even though that one ended up as an incompletion. The read was correct, and it would have been a first down if he was able to deliver that football, but still no points. Winters to throw on first down. Surprised we have not seen a lot of pressure from these defensive ends. Warbles and Alexander. Alexander, 2nd in the league in sacks at the moment. And this is that wide bunch look that the league is getting is being used so prevalently in the league now. We used to see only that close bunch. We see the bunch moved out for Centennial here. Obviously, they're trying things that they are going to want to apply next year. This is still an important game for them as far as giving themselves confidence, but also seeing what works for this team. Obviously, Winters has had success. You don't get to be 2nd in the league in passing touchdowns by accident. So I think they're still ironing things out, but obviously a lot of potential here. Great tackle by Battle there after Patrick broke the initial tackling effort on that catch. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. like the modern-day corners in press here. We'll see if that works. Underneath, Roberson, quick tackle. And I know in talking to the defensive staff for the Monarchs, they are looking at moving him to middle linebacker after Battle leaves this coming off season to the flat. Roberson on cue again, just about a step behind. First down, Huskies. So another drive into modern-day territory, and I believe this is the second one of its kind. Oh, and that one almost intercepted by Johnson. That would have been a pick six. There was no one around Johnson in the rain, and the amount of rain games is just ridiculous this year. Winters all day to throw. He steps up and finds a man. You can't give him that much time. Breaks a tackle. Absolutely discombobulated play there from the modern-day defense. You can't give a quarterback like this all day to throw, and he's just standing back there waiting for someone to get open. They will eventually. Island, Curtis, and another defender, it looked like, whiffed. Yeah, it was Roberts, the strong safety who had the interception earlier, all missed on that tackle. So first down, Centennial. Another completion, and they're going to take it down to the 5-yard line. Kind of just, and this is what we saw in the first quarter, kind of just doing what they want to do. It's really not been that challenging for them, outside of a few stops in the, well, obviously the interception. And this is going to be a touchdown-saving tackle there from, it looked like Evans, the backup linebacker. Second and goal for the Huskies, closing in on the back half of the second quarter to the end zone, broken up. What an effort from Marcus Battle. This guy plays with so much intensity, and it doesn't matter if Modern Day is down 17 or up 10, that he's going to play as hard as he can. And that one's to the end zone, almost intercepted by Island. So an early decision here for Centennial. I guess it's not really early anymore. Decision time for the Huskies. They are going to elect to go for it on 4th and goal from the 2. We'll see if it pays off. Winters to throw. He's trying to outrun Warbles, trying to get to the goal line. Roberson denies him. And on 4th and goal, the Huskies are turned away. The modern-day defense stands tall in the shadow of their own goalposts. And that was a great series from Roberson. We really saw him make some crucial plays, especially with that tackle there on the 2-yard line. Didn't allow Winters to fall forward. Essentially knocked him back, prevented him from even getting close to the end zone there. And if you're a Modern Day fan, it is time to, well, first and foremost, get out of the danger zone here as the backup tackle goes in motion. We did see the backup tackle score a touchdown last week. Sean Bowe, what on earth was that? I don't have a lot of words. That I just don't understand that throw. I don't understand the play call. Obviously a pick six. And just a disastrous first half. 2 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown. You have about 20 passing yards. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Makes no sense to me here in the booth, but I have the same questions as all of you do. I don't know what that was. But in the game of football, you got to have a short memory, and we're going to move on to the next series here. Mater Dei offense back on the field, and it's gone about as bad as it could possibly go in the first half. Well, I guess not as bad as it could possibly have gone, but close. Throw in the dirt, and you gotta just can't really escape the feeling that it is just not Mater Dei's day so far. I mean, it feels like more passes have been completed to Centennial than to his own receivers. Incomplete on third down. That's something we've seen a lot of. And it's going to bring up the punting team for Mater Dei. I don't understand a lot of this. A lot of this looks like it should have been cleaned up early in the season. Not where you want to be. Offensively, if you're a team that's looking at postseason playoff berth. Malone with a nice pass break up there, but only 7-0, plenty of time for the Mater Dei offense to figure things out. Here's Winters to throw, and he's sacked by Alexander. What a season the senior defensive end is having. And it seems like, especially in recent weeks, I mean, we've just come on here and praised the defense for the work that they've been doing. Bennett Alexander, a big contributor to that work as he puts pressure on Winters again, who will throw short. Still no points for the Centennial offense. That will remain true as they look to punt here on 4th and 10. Centennial defense outscoring the Centennial offense after a play-action pass attempt to a lineman on Mater Dei's own 2-yard line. Bizarre sequence of events here in this first half. Absolutely bizarre to watch. So Sean Bowe to throw again, and this has been a dangerous sight, at least today, but he completes to Cooper, who will pick up a first down. A gain of 16 yards. Result is a first down. And that's that's a little comforting, especially after the early struggles. And I think Sean Bowe with these interception numbers just really ending up hurting the team, especially in the back half of their schedule here. Play action here. It's a good throw upstairs for Kisling. Just looked like he led him a little bit too far. That's going to end up incomplete. Not a bad read, though, at this point. If you're, not throwing the ball to the other team, I would consider that to be a good throw. Sean Bowe with nothing but time. And he kind of gets some happy feet back there before pulling it down. But they're picking up yards now. I think the problem for me is you're doing this in the first half, but it's in the last 2 minutes of the second quarter that you're starting to put a drive together. If you can do this, Kisling breaking a tackle there, he almost made a run for the goal line. If you can do this from the start of the game and sustain it, then this is an offense that I think is going to have, defenses are going to have a hard time stopping. But you kind of get in your own way, and especially, early in the first half with the 2 interceptions. You're down 7 to a team that's 6-9. I mean, sure, you're on the road in the rain. You can make all the excuses you want, but you need to be able to sustain drives, and part of that is leaning on the run game, which, every time they've gone to the run, nice catch, way to hold on for the first down there is Forwick. Every time they've gone to the run, it's been productive. I don't know how you go play action pass to a backup tackle on your own 2-yard line. Williams going to motion out. Empty look here on 1st and goal. This would go a long way to restoring some confidence for Mater Dei. End zone touchdown. Shockey, the senior tight end, adds a touchdown to his ledger. And a good drive there from the Mater Dei offense. A good response to maybe, you throw a couple interceptions early. Sean Bowe maybe in his head a little bit. Obviously, this isn't a team or a game that you can just overlook because especially if you're a playoff team, you're kind of under a microscope. And that was a good drive. I think if you can do that from the first quarter, obviously through the fourth quarter, you're going to be a tough team to beat, especially with this defense. But we'll keep watching here. That is what they needed before half. Mater Dei does get the ball at half, so we'll see if they can carry that momentum. First and foremost, though, they need to prevent Centennial from scoring again before the half. And they have 26 seconds and all 3 timeouts. Tie ball game here in Corona. Quick throw for Winners, who beat Malone on the inside. A little slant. Looks like they're probably playing, I'd imagine, for field goal position with throws like that. A pickup of 8. 20 seconds. The clock continues to run here. Great job by Roberts. He's having a heck of a half to be on the spot with the tackle. They do pick up a first down. They're inching closer to midfield. Pressure from Warbles on the backside. Downfield! That was a wide open receiver. We saw that earlier to Forwick. Big sigh of relief for the Mater Dei defense. Shutter Island beat in coverage, and that was going to be a touchdown before the half. Winners pulls it down, and he will get out of bounds with 5 seconds left from the 44. They've got another shot here. If you're the Mater Dei defense, just back up. We do not want to see what happened to Island a second ago happen again. Winters loading up for the Hail Mary. This one towards the end zone and knocked down by Jamison and or Curtis. It kind of happened too fast. But I think Mater Dei ending a very low half on a high note, going in tied at 7. You've got to avoid those early mistakes, though. Let's see if they can continue it. If you're the Mater Dei coaching staff, you're getting everybody together in the locker room. You're saying, hey, didn't start how we wanted, maybe came out flat, made some mistakes, but we bounced back, and right now we need to sustain success offensively. That is the number one goal for Mater Dei, as we're going to take a look, I'm sure, at the interceptions. The highlight team doesn't love Sean Bowe. We've seen a lot of that this year, but there wasn't a lot to love in the first half, so I don't blame them. Anyway, the number one key for Mater Dei right now, which they want to see from their offense, is sustained success offensively. Great effort from Cooper. I thought he stretched out for the first down. They don't give it to him, as we're accustomed to seeing with the officials at Mater Dei football games. Might get fined for that one. RPO for Kisling, who will pick up the first down. And I like this tempo. It's a little bit more up tempo. We're moving things around a little bit better offensively. To throw again is Cooper. Is Bowe, complete to Cooper. That'll be his 5th catch of the day. He's closing in on 50 yards. But I like this short passing game coming out from Mater Dei now. It's manageable. It's more predictable. Complete over the middle. And look at this gain. I mean, that's a gain of 9 on a play, on a short throw that's high percentage. 9 yards. Manageable second down. That's what they need, and I think that's what they were missing in the first half. Sean Bowe complete again to Cooper, and now the Mater Dei offense is starting to put it together. Empty look here from the 27-yard line. 1st and 10. Complete again to Shockey. That didn't take a lot of time. That ball was out before Shockey had even turned around. 2 running backs in the shotgun look for Mater Dei here. Burdett actually, I don't know what happened. Burdett actually looked like he had a gentleman's agreement with the Centennial defensive end there to allow him to essentially be a backpack for Sean Bowe. Same thing happened there. Same player, same left tackle. And that ends the Mater Dei drive early. Myers looking for a long field goal. He has not been great from 50 plus this year. He does make that one. Almost blocked by the same player that had back-to-back sacks to end the Mater Dei drive. So insanely frustrating if you're a Mater Dei fan. A drive that you were humming offensively, things were moving, and then one player ends it on back-to-back sacks. You do end up getting points, but we've already talked about how the Mater Dei coaching staff feels about field goals. It's not the game they want to play. It's not the game that you can play against better teams in the league. That's not going to hold up. 3 points at the end of a drive is not going to hold up in the playoffs. As Winters drops back to throw on first down. What an effort from Roberts again. He is having some kind of game. That might have been Johnson. High formation for Winters, who hands off. Battle on the tackle there. Roberson with the initial contact. 3rd and 5. Winters to throw, pressure comes, and he gets rid of that ball in a hurry. Great throw on the money to continue the Centennial drive. Avery Curtis with the tackle. And he had to get rid of that ball early. There was pressure coming. But he did his job there. This is not the quarterback that, you want to have him, make a play. I get they're trying to get him off balance. Great tackle for loss from Johnson. A strong safety there. He's having himself a year. Also another young key piece to this team moving forward. So Winters looking to throw on 2nd and 12. He throws short. That was almost intercepted by Pierce. It looked like it went off the helmet of the Centennial receiver, and Pierce had a chance at it. That is why he plays D-line, folks. Stone hands. Winters to throw again. And the contact makes it incomplete there. Contact by Roberts again. He has been all over the field as he forces Claxton to drop that one. Incomplete. 4th and 12. Mater Dei offense with another chance to separate themselves. And we've seen Mater Dei in this situation before. This is a familiar situation. You're leading by 1 score, and this is generally, I would say, at least in the past couple weeks, where the Mater Dei offense goes down and kicks a field goal and doesn't do a whole lot to separate themselves. I think especially now, where you are in the season right now, you want to see them score a touchdown here. Let the coaching staff know, hey, the adjustments are working. Obviously, the first half didn't go exactly according to plan, but that's the exception and not the rule, as that was just an ill-advised throw there to the flat. I think Sean Bowe has been a big part of the problem in this game. Lucky that one wasn't picked as well, late to the flat. 3rd and 6. Backing up, just constantly backing up. I don't get that. I think if you're, a more mature and aware quarterback, you step up in the pocket, you do something decisive, you extend the play. You don't continue to back up or get happy feet. That ends the drive for Mater Dei. Frustrating for the Monarchs. But it's back to the star of the show, and that is The Mater Dei defense. Great tackle by Johnson there. You'll have to excuse me. I had to take a quick break. 3rd and 8 for the Huskies from their own 36. All day for winners. Alexander eventually breaks through. That'll be his 2nd sack of the day to end the Centennial drive. And if it wasn't for this Mater Dei defense, boy, would this team be different. Would it look different? You don't want to be having an offensive crisis towards the end of the year, but for all intents and purposes, I think Mater Dei, looking at them right now, kind of having one. You got to get the ball to Williams a little bit more. Would love to see him get more involved. I've said that a number of times in the past couple weeks, but obviously there are some games where they're just trying to force feed Williams and it's not there. So it's really kind of hit and miss. To the flat again, complete to Cooper, and he'll turn up field for a nice gain there. Take a look at Sean Bowe's stat line, which has been thoroughly unimpressive. 155 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks on the day. That moves him to 13 interceptions on the year, 26 touchdowns, a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, which is not bad for your freshman year by any means. Not going to take home any awards, but, you know, something to build on. And I think that's what this Mater Dei team feels like they have, especially with a good defense. A good defense can take you a long, long ways in all levels of football, really. But a good defense can take you a long way, and I think in talking to the coaches, they are very happy with the foundation that they're laying this year for the future. As Forwick picks up about 15 there. Another first down. We'll see if they get this play in before the end of the 3rd quarter. They do not. So we will end the 3rd quarter there. A lot of ups and downs in this one, but Mater Dei has a 3-point lead going into the 4th. And I 100% feel that's courtesy of the Mater Dei defense, as it has been in the past 3 weeks. What's funny is I think early in the season it was more the Mater Dei offense that was clicking, and now the defense is picking them up in the back half. Another completion to Cooper. They're doing a great job of spreading the ball around, though. We saw that RPO design for Kisling. We've seen Forwick and Cooper get their targets as well. So Shockey with the touchdown. Doing a great job of getting guys involved. To the flat. Sean Bowe's had success there today. It's Cooper again. One of the young emerging stars for this Mater Dei offense. And now they're finding a little bit of rhythm. Down to the 11. Sean Bowe finds Kisling. Strong hands through the contact there. Pickup of 3. That'll bring them within the 10-yard line. Touchdown here would go a long way. Empty look. Sean Bowe steps up and delivers. Cooper with a toe tap catch in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Monarchs on the run. Man, that was a nice grab from Cooper, who stuck both feet in the ground and said, "This is 6, just like my jersey." This one will get reviewed, but I think that was pretty clearly a touchdown for Mater Dei. Just doing their due diligence here. What an athletic play from Cooper, as you can see him get both toes down in the back of the Centennial end zone there. This will be a pretty quick review, and I'm sure it will stand. Touchdown, Mater Dei. What a grab. Just as we were talking about the potential for this offense, the young players they have with so much talent, you see drives like that and you see what they can be. The question for them is, can they do it for a full game? Can you avoid the mistakes that you made in the first half of this game? Listen, folks, I get it. In a lot of ways, you want this team to be perfect and score on every drive and have a turnover on every defensive drive. That's just not the case. You're going to throw interceptions. You're going to make mistakes. But I love the way that this offense has responded and the way that this defense has held firm through the mistakes of the offense. When you have a team that plays together like this, it's a dangerous team now. AFC, NFC, PVC, I don't care what conference you're in. It's a dangerous team when they play together. Great tackle by Dean there, the defensive tackle. A screen comes out. Barely got that one away. Shutter Island, I'm sorry to laugh there, but Shutter Island was shown the deck, if you will. Great block there. Battle forced him out of bounds after a first down pickup. There's Robert Saleh. Who'd have thought he'd be coaching at the high school level, but boy, does he make being bald look good. Handoff to Tanking, who's brought down by Jamison. Jamison, the freshman cornerback, having a great year. A couple of interceptions on the year, a couple of sacks as well. Speaking of sacks, there's the other D-end. Warbles, this pass rush nightmare continues to dominate. Both of these players are in the top 5 for sacks, Warbles and Alexander. I can't say enough good things about him. That'll bring up a 3rd and 9. Warbles applying the pressure again. That looked like a hold to me. That throw incomplete, looking for Patrick. Battle stuck a paw up there. And we'll see if they want to go for this near midfield. They do not. You got to think with 7.5 minutes left to go, 10-point game. You're running out of chances, but they opt for the punt. They will punt away from Kisling, scared of his return skills. And Mater Dei will start from their own 18-yard line. So Sean Bowe, obviously with the early interceptions, and now the production team heard my complaints. They show off some of the touchdown throws. He's responded really well, about as good as a freshman quarterback can respond. Give him credit. A lot of quarterbacks, if they struggle that way early, would shut down. Give to Williams. And some of these holes have been absolutely massive. Pause for Williams today. I'm surprised they haven't ran the ball more. 2nd and 6. But, the Jameis Winston experience continues as Cooper breaks the 100-yard barrier. Obviously, the touchdown catch earlier. He's got double-digit receptions, triple-digit yards, and a touchdown. 3rd and short for Mater Dei. Quick throw, complete to Shockey. Such strong hands. 1st down. Looked like Kisling was open as well, so good to have options. That'll move the chains for the Monarchs. There's another give to Williams. Great blocking, man. He has had some room. Pickup of 9. And I think this is time for Williams to eat here. Under 5 minutes, you're up 10. You want to eat some clock. Instead, they decide to ignore me and go empty. Quick throw, intercepted. And the second pick 6 of the day. For Centennial. Questionable play call there. Even more questionable throw. Sean Bowe not doing himself a lot of favors. So the Centennial defense has scored all of Centennial's points today. What an ugly game for Mater Dei here. Obviously you're winning, but not in the fashion that you'd hope. A win is a win. At the end of the day, that is what matters in this league. But and this isn't a win yet, obviously. There's, less than 5 minutes. I am just appalled by some of the play calling. Under 5 minutes, the run has been so good to you today, and anyway, Sean Bowe's thrown the ball almost 40 times today. If that tells you where this team is, the direction this team is trying to go, obviously they have talented receivers. I get it. But at a certain point in the game, that's the left tackle Burdett allowing pressure again. And that's been a familiar sight today and throughout the year, actually. He leads the team in allowed sacks. Sean Bowe to throw. Late again, and I have started to kind of pick up on this. The ball is coming out so late on some of these throws. Obviously, you have the interceptions, and it looked like it was coming out late on those as well, as they audible to shotgun on 3rd and 1. And it's a throw. It will be complete to Forwick, and it will be a first down. But the ball needs to come out a lot sooner. And you could see, even earlier in this game, throwing when Sean Bowe was throwing on time, this offense can move. But when you're throwing the ball late and you're just trying to force things, design quarterback draw, pickup of 8. You don't see that too often. But when you throw on time, this offense moves. But when you throw late, it's going to be disastrous. 2 pick sixes in this game. Just tough to watch, man. Obviously for the defense, no points allowed. Centennial defense having a career day here, scoring 14 points. And now they're going to start feeding Williams, it looks like, under 2.5 minutes. This is what they should have done on the last drive, if you ask a humble commentator. And that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. 3-point lead for Mater Dei. And now all of a sudden, instead of having that 2-score cushion, this possession becomes all important. So you had a little bit of cushion, but because you wanted to fake the jet sweep, hand off to Williams, and there's the room that I was talking about. I mean, that's an easy first down. Give him the ball, Put the ball in Tu's hands. Not just for the strategic implications or the coaching implications of where this game is at. He's a talented player. I mean, you've got to give him his opportunities. Instead of trying to force the ball late, I know it's tempting. You got talented receivers and you're trying to get them involved. But great way to break a tackle there in the backfield for Williams. That play looked dead to rights. But among the things that have gone poorly today, the run game has looked good. And of course, they go to a throw on 3rd and 2. Sean Bowe hit as he's throwing there. We'll see if they elect to go for this. I don't see the point in kicking a field goal here. I think you do have to go for this. And I think you're far enough on the other side of the field that, because you still lose to a touchdown, I get that you make them have to score a touchdown. And the defense has been playing absurdly well. So I get that. I get that. So as we see in typical Mater Dei fashion, they put it back on the defense. Again, the 14 points that Centennial has scored today is off of 2 pick sixes. This Centennial offense hasn't scored a point, which now that I say that, they are out of timeouts as well. So something to look for here in this 6-point ball game. But if you're Mater Dei, you cannot get beat deep. Centennial has to score a touchdown to win. the way their defense has been playing. There's a nice pickup there. Clock continues to run. And now we're closing in on 30 seconds left. Winters empty. Warbles and Alexander, pressure. Doesn't get there. Another great pickup. This is exactly what Centennial needs. 10 seconds. Winters throws it away. Looked like the right decision. Nobody open there. But if you're Mater Dei, man, you are holding your breath. Can't get beat deep. You've got to play over the top if you're a defensive back here. Warbles doubled on this one. Winters going to take a shot at the end zone. That one incomplete. This game ends 20-14. So Mater Dei does get the win. They'll move to 12-4. But in a lot of ways, this feels like, somewhat of a compensatory victory almost. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's not the way that you would have liked to see the game go. 3 interceptions, 2 of them for touchdown. As you take a look at some of the bright spots, but Sean Bowe did not look sharp today. And I think, obviously they're making some adjustments on offense, so I'm sure a lot of people are still getting used to that. It's a different offense than the one that they have been running pretty consistently throughout the year. Let's take a look at some stats here. James Winters, the big story. Second in the league in passing touchdowns, didn't have one today. Barely broke 50% completion percentage. But Sean Bowe, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks is not going to do it in the postseason. 42 attempts. They were really trying to air this thing out. Taking a look at Mater Dei rushing. Williams was averaging, it felt like well over 4 yards per carry, but obviously 53 yards on the day, no touchdowns. I would have loved to see him get a few more opportunities. Cooper, a big bright spot, 100-yard day for him. Shockey, 6 catches, 37 yards and a touchdown as well. And Forwick and Kisling also with 5. So the ball really did get distributed pretty well. Williams obviously didn't have much of a chance on his one reception. Blocking, obviously Burdett struggled today. He will have to take a look at the stats for the year, but he does continue to struggle, we'll put it that way. Take a look at the tackle numbers. Marcus Battle, familiar sight at the top there. Jameson also with 6 getting involved. Johnson, Roberson, and Curtis all up there as well. And then we look at the tackle for loss numbers. So obviously these 2 guys have been up there all year long. Dean really came on in the second half of this season. Battle with 1 as well. And Johnson. Sack numbers, 2 for Alexander, 1.5 for Warbles. Both guys among the best pass rushers in the league. And Dean with half a sack as well. So that is going to do it for us. Obviously, Mater Dei wins 20-14. We will see just how much this game was a one-off here in the future, but they do move to 12-4 as they look to close out the year as one of the top seeds in the AFC. We will see you next time from the booth. My name is Al Michaels' son, Tom Michaels.